the debate over the greatest sports cars is mentioned, the conversation inevitably collides with one name, Porsche. Not only have they participated in the performance wars, but they have been the world's benchmark for decades. Everyone knows that Porsches are expensive, but in a market where every high-end sports car seems to come with a massive price tag, you wonder if it actually costs more than the competition, specifically a domestic powerhouse such as the Corvette.
Sorry, I didn't think you could hear me over this naturally aspirated V8 engine. Anyway, like I was saying, on the other side of the track is a Chevrolet Corvette. Historically, this has been a budget supercar for a fraction of a price. But times has changed, engineering has evolved, and sticker prices have skyrocketed. Has the American icon outgrown its bargain reputation? We did not want the opinions, we wanted the statistics, which led us to our research question. Is there a difference between the mean price of 2026 Porsche coupes and 2026 Corvette coupes on Cars.com?
This project is an observational study. We are not changing anything about the cars, assigning treatments, or running any experiments. We are simply observing listed prices that already exist on Cars.com. To keep the comparison fair, we only looked at brand new 2026 coupes from both brands. No SUVs, no used cars, and no random models. Just 2026 coupes from both brands.
To build our data set, we ran a Cars.com nationwide search and found 593 Porsche coupes and about 1,600 Corvette coupes. To make it fair, we did not pick them ourselves. We numbered the listings and used a random number generator to find 30 Porsche coupes and 30 Corvette coupes. This is a random sample because each car had an equal chance of being selected. And we did not use surveys or treatments because this was an experiment. We just collected the listings and let the data do the speaking for itself. Before running the test, we had to check if the conditions were met. The random condition was met because we used a random number generator.
The 10% condition is also met. We selected 30 out of 593 Porsche listings and 30 out of about 1,600 Corvette listings. Since 30 is less than 10% of both of these groups, the 10% condition checks out.
The normal condition was also met because both sampling sizes were 30. So by the COT, the sampling distributions were approximately normal.
Once these conditions were met, we could move on to the actual comparison. After we collected our samples, this became our final data set, 30 Porsches and 30 Corvettes, and here's the data that we used. For the Corvette sample, the average listed price was $113,727, with a standard deviation of $33,790.63. For the Porsche sample, the average listed price was $215,851.17, with a standard deviation of $58,121.92. This gave us a sample mean difference of $102,124.17, with Porsche being higher. So before even running the test, the price gap was already huge.
After looking at the data in the box plots, we needed to see if the price gap was actually statistically significant. So we ran a two-sample t-test. Our null hypothesis said that there was no difference in the true mean listed prices, and our alternative hypothesis said that there was a difference. After using our data, our test statistic was about 8.32, and our p-value was about 0. Since the p-value was far below 0.05, we reject our HO, and we have convincing evidence that the price gap was not just random, but it was statistically significant.
To estimate how big our price difference was, we used a two-sample t-interval. Our 95% confidence interval was from between 77,425 and 126,823. So based on our data, we are 95% confident that brand new Porsche coupes on Cars.com cost between $77,425 and $126,823 more than Corvette coupes on Cars.com. Since our whole t-interval is positive, this supports the same conclusion as our t-test. Porsche coupes cost more than Corvette coupes on average.
Our data isn't perfect. For example, there's undercoverage bias because all of our data is straight from Cars.com, which doesn't represent every dealership in the country. A type 1 error might occur if we say there is a difference in mean prices when in reality there is not.
For our probability bonus, we treated our data like a head-to-head matchup. We compared every possible Corvette price to every possible Porsche price, which gave us 900 matchups. The Corvette was more expensive only 38 times out of 900, which was 4.22% of the time.
So after all the data, the results are pretty straightforward. Porsches came out more on average than Corvettes, and it wasn't just random. But that was never the point of the Corvette. It was never trying to be the most expensive car in the room. But this car proves it doesn't have to be.